When you're shooting an unscripted story, it's not just about capturing what's in front of you. Being intentional with every frame is what separates a compelling story from just another video. So, how do you plan your shots to tell the best story possible? Today, I want to take you back a few years. I was working on a project with an incredibly talented cameraman. This guy had shot it all, from unscripted shows to high-pressure news stories. As we wrapped up after a long day of filming, I asked him a question that had been on my mind for a while. What's your approach to shooting unscripted stories? How do you plan your coverage? He paused, smiled, then he shared something that would forever change the way I approach shooting. He said, first I shoot wide to capture a master shot and set the scene. Then I find my medium shots, looking for reverse angles, interactions, and framing the action. After that, I zoom in tight to capture close-ups that draw out emotions and details that drive the story. Once I have all the essential shots for the editor to work with, I start shooting for art, those creative, unique angles and moments that elevate the story. His wide, medium, tight art approach was a game changer for me. It's a method that ensures coverage of all the storytelling basics while leaving room for creative footage that can take the story to the next level. Since that conversation, I've applied this technique to nearly every project I've produced or directed. It lays a solid foundation and also gives me the freedom to push boundaries and create something that feels alive. But beyond just wide, medium, tight art framework, there are a few more strategies that can really enhance your unscripted storytelling. Here are some practical tips you can start using today. Are you ready? Number 1, always be ready to roll. Unscripted stories are unpredictable. The magic often happens when you least expect it, so keep the camera rolling as much as possible to capture those spontaneous, raw moments. It's better to have extra footage than to miss something unforgettable. Number 2, embrace natural light. Whenever possible, use natural light to your advantage. It's authentic, visually appealing, and gives your footage a cinematic quality that's hard to replicate with artificial lighting. Number 3, stabilize your shots. Whether you're shooting handheld or using a gimbal, stable footage is a must. Shaky footage can take viewers out of the story unless it's used intentionally for a specific effect. Number 4, capture cutaways. Cutaways like close-ups of hands, objects, or reaction shots are editing lifesavers. They help smooth transitions, add context, and make stories flow seamlessly. Number 5, play with angles. Don't be afraid to experiment. Low angles can make a subject feel powerful, while high angles create a sense of vulnerability. Finding the right angle for each moment can amplify the emotional impact of your story. Number 6, listen for nat sound. Ambient sounds can add richness to your footage and make the environment come alive. Capture those sounds, whether it's the hustle or bustle of a street or the quiet rustle of leaves. They add texture and immerse the audience in the scene. Number 7, create depth in your shots. Frame your shots with layers, foreground, middle ground, and background. This technique creates depth and visual interest, drawing viewers into the scene and making your footage more dynamic. Number 8, get close to the action. Rather than relying on zoom, physically move closer when appropriate. This brings an intimacy into your shots that zoom lenses can't replicate. It captures raw emotions that resonate. Number 9, anticipate the action. Try to predict what's coming next. Position yourself to be in the right spot before the moment unfolds. That proactive approach helps you capture authentic, unscripted moments more effectively. Number 10, pay attention to backgrounds. Keep your backgrounds clean and relevant to the story. A cluttered or distracting background can take away focus from your subject, so frame your shots thoughtfully. Whether you're running and gunning or working with a more intentional planned approach, the wide, medium, tight art framework will keep your shots focused and your story dynamic. It gives you the tools to capture both the essential narrative moments and the creative visuals that elevate your production. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's your go-to method for shooting unscripted stories? Do you stick to a framework like this, or do you like to mix things up? Let me know in the comments. And if this video added value to your storytelling game, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more tips like these. Also, check out the description for the resources that will help you level up as a world-class video creative. Thanks for watching.